Hello, I'm BrigantiaBlackbird of Blackbird's Brew. Happy Tuesday and welcome back to the series Pagan Problems. Today we are talking about the dangers of unity. Now for some little while I have seen the word unity tossed around pagan circles, with many people stressing the desirability of it or the need of it, even to the point of putting unity on a pedestal as if it is a virtue that needs to be actively cultivated and practiced. Now, what I suspect people actually mean by this is that they want a society and a culture that's reasonably well-mannered and acting on a basis of mutual goodwill. Obviously, I have no problem with that. I would agree with that particular end. But the word unity is one of the many terms in our language that has been distorted and twisted. In the political realm, unity is often the rallying cry of collectivists, and they'll ramble on and on about how they're going to bring people together. But the end result just amounts to stripping people of their autonomy and forcing them to live under the government's thumb. Not a fan. In a religious context, I had the misfortune to experience firsthand just how toxic the very concept of unity can become. Jehovah's Witnesses place a great deal of emphasis on unity and brotherhood and being in theological agreement. The result was conformity for the sake of it, the smothering of all dissent and discussion, and spiritual decay. All too often, the calls for unity, and whatever the situation, are little more than as someone's having a desire to compel people to at least give lip service to the same things, to do the same things, and be answerable to a higher authority who's imposing that vision on everyone else. And make no mistake, the majority of the time, unity is really just about accepting someone else's rulership over you. Even if someone honestly believed that people would be better off to conforming with their wishes, it is still an inherently tyrannical impulse. And the spiritual consequences of religious tyranny are absolutely devastating. I have seen it firsthand. I've experienced it firsthand. Not only can that mold it just force someone into a mold that nature never intended for them to be in, it can cut people off from the gods they seek to worship, and even from their ancestors who they should have a spiritual relationship with. Many of us who converted to paganism did so, at least in part, to have the choice, to have the hope, to have the freedom of exploration, to be able to ask questions and seek out our own answers instead of just taking someone else's word for it. Now, is this a chaotic state of affairs? Yes, it is. But that chaos is healthier than mindless conformity. I think we would all like to associate with people who are of like mind. And provided it's voluntary and people can agree to disagree and they come to the table with honest intentions, then on that basis we can successfully create unity. Well, create communities, and there'll be a sort of unity, but it won't be unity in the way that I just mentioned. It'll be more so unity and we're acting with mutual goodwill. Now, best of all, in that case, we don't have to have the unity that we so often hear talked about. That is the detrimental sense of the term. Whatever agreement exists can be genuine, not something that's artificially constructed, coerced, or forced. Disagreements are not a crisis. They're not a problem to be solved, and they're not a threat to any kind of power structure. There should never be anyone standing over us saying, say or do this or else, especially not in spiritual matters in which conscience should reign supreme. As pagans, we are spiritual seekers. We're not a flock to be directed or a political voting block to be given orders that we must carry out. And every day, we are making decisions about what modern pagan culture is going to look like. And I hope more and more of us will continue to go down the individualistic route, form communities based on voluntary association, mutual acceptance, and respect. The collectivist route of unity is damaging in the short term, and in the long term, it is just a pathway to extinction. So fingers crossed we will choose with wisdom. Now I'd like to hear from you. What do you think about all this? Let me know in the comments below or come see me on Discord at Blackbird's Brew. There is a link to join in the description box below, and I would be very happy to hear your thoughts. So that'll do it for now, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.